Hi, today I'm going to be sharing some tips with you about how to edit this decor kit. The one I'm going to be showing you pictures of is the burlap and chalkboard style. I have this kit in two other colors, and both of those colors will apply to any of the tips that I give you today. There it is in purple, lime, and turquoise, and it also comes in a cactus with wood and watercolor backgrounds. So any of those, all of the tips will apply to. Once you have yours downloaded and ready to look at, you will also need to decide what fonts you might want to get, unless you already have them. I use KG fonts, that's Kimberly Geswain, and inside the resource you will find a list of those fonts, and if you want to use the same ones that I did, you can come to her store, type in the name of the font and do a search for it, and then you'll find it more easier that way. Download it, install it, and then open your PowerPoints to be ready to do some editing. Okay, so when you get to the file, it's going to look like this when you get it unzipped, and inside there are 4 files. I'm going to make this large so you can see them definitely. The PDF files are not editable. There are 2 in this resource. They both have things in them that you can use as they are, and the things that are editable are going to be found in files 2 and 3. File 2 for the burlap resource has a banner in it, and file 3 has all of the other pieces. That's the one we're going to take a closer look at. The first thing that you'll need to do when you open one of the PowerPoints to edit is across the top of it, it will have a yellow bar that says Enable Editing, and you'll have to click on that before you can do any editing. The first few pages are informational. That one, it just tells you what's included, and then you have several pages of editing tips. Please do read through those because there might be something in there that I forget to say today that you'll need to know. Okay, let's try to edit something. This is a label that would go on your calendar, but what if you wanted to use this for something else? Maybe you want to use it as a name tag. So just click on that text, and the box opens up, double click on it, and you're ready to type whatever you want it to say, and it will show up. If you want to change that color, we're going to go over how to do that, and we're also going to talk in a minute about how to change the size of that in case you wanted it to be much larger. When you get to any of these labels that are decorated, those labels cannot be moved, but the text still can be changed if you want it to say something else. Let's go down to these numbers. I went ahead and included the numbers from the calendar part of this resource in case you needed more numbers. I used these to label some cabinets one year, and I had 43 cabinets, so I needed to make some different numbers for that. You may want to use these for a different reason, and so just click on the number and change that to whatever you want it to say, or you can move this out and fill that space with a photo or a piece of clip art. I also included in this kit these that have a linen or a burlap background, and in the resource itself these are labels for your calendar for holidays, and each one of them has a particular thing in it, like a Christmas tree or hearts for Valentine's Day. You can use these for other kinds of labels. Just click on type and type what you want it to say in the box. If you wanted to fill in clip art, you just move this out of the way or delete it. This marble, I had it in a file and I just inserted it and then changed its size, and you can do that easily just pulling from the corners to change this up by putting clip art in it instead of words. So that's how you would do that. Okay, let's say that you're ready to talk about name tags. These name tags are a little tricky because they have lines on them, and I played with the size of this font quite a bit to decide that the 115 actually is a better size. I don't know how that got changed to a different number, and this should be 88. And same thing here, this should be 115 and the rest of her name should be 88. and it fits the lines that way. The capital letter at the beginning is a larger size in order to fill the space better. So if you change, this is KG Red Hands font, by the way, but if you decide to change that to a different font, you may have to play with the sizes like I did until it fits the space the way you want it to. So feel free to do that while you're editing. What if the name won't fit? What if you have a student whose name is much longer than that space with the sizes that I put in there? Here's what you do. Highlight the whole thing and then change the size. You do that by clicking the smaller A. It has a little down arrow. When you click it, it makes it smaller. It's still not small enough, so let's click it one more time. That seems to fill the space. And let's sit it in there and see how we like that. It's not bad. Some of the letters are a little smaller than those lines, but to get Catherine's name in there, we had to make it a different size. So what if you wanted Catherine's name to be a different color? Maybe your color scheme in your classroom is burlap and chalkboard and maybe red. So you highlight the whole name, and then you're going to choose the font color. When you click on that, you've got some automatic selections down here. That's a good deep red, but what if you wanted it to be a color that's not appearing in this? Go to More Colors, and now you can choose from a great array of colors. You can even customize it. Let's choose this pink and customize it by making it darker. All you do is just move that down. It got a little darker. Let's say okay. Now Catherine's going to be pink. If you wanted that to be alternating colors, that's a little trickier to do. You have to highlight one letter at a time and change it. It takes a little bit longer to do that, but you can certainly try that. Okay, let's move on to a name tag that has decor already on it. This decor cannot be moved, but you can change the name. This font is KG Strawberry Limeade. It's a fun little font that has some different sizes of the letters, but it's fun to play with. I like the letters that hang below the lines. Now let's move on to the name tags that don't have lines. These are a little easier to change the sizes on. In fact, Kathy Brown is all the same size. It's all size 96. I didn't have to restrict myself to making them fit inside the lines. So those are a little easier to manipulate if that's what you're interested in. This is a different font. This one is called KG Satisfied Script. It's a good fun font, and I don't think it's bold. You can make these by clicking on that B. You can make it bolder if you want a different look. I'm going to show you again. Just click on that B and it makes it bold, or you can click it off and it takes the bold away. Depends on what you want. This also includes table numbers in the kit, but if you wanted to use this wider label for something else, just click on that and change it to what you want it to say. If typing sideways bothers you, then you just find at the top of this text box, find that little circle arrow and just turn it. And now you can type, and when you're ready for, let's change it to Kathy. When you're ready, you just click on that circle again and then drag this into position and center it the way that you like. That's how you use the sideways ones. I included some subject labels with a place where you can add your own clip art if you wanted to change those. If you don't have clip art or don't want, then here's the same label without clip art, and it's centered for you so you don't have to worry about that weird side showing. These were made for supply boxes, and if you have some supplies that are not in the original file 1, then you just type it in, whatever you wanted to say. These would make good desk tags too for your children's names. I included hall passes. You can change those up. The clip art cannot be changed, but you can change the words on it to say something different. Those come in several styles. And the last part of the resource, these are labels for the front of those little white drawer units that we like so much. But if you want it to say something other than file copy grade, you just click on it, change it to what you want to say. That is Strawberry Limeade font again, which is a fun font. This one is called Skinny Latte, It's a cute little font too. You can also add some decor out here if you want. And that is how you edit this file. It really is fun. It may take you some time to play with the sizes and change the fonts to something that you like. Do save this when you get finished as a PDF. That's probably the most important thing I can tell you. Save as a PDF before you send it to your school printer to print it off for you, because the backgrounds won't print if you don't do that. I always advise you to print one page first and make sure it's all working before you print off a lot of files. So print one page first to make sure it's working and save as a PDF. Always save this file when you get finished making your changes. Save it separately from the original file so that the original file is always on your computer. You can always re-download it if you forget to do that. So thank you so much for your purchase, and I hope you have fun making your labels.